Hi folks, how's it going? Welcome to another quick review. I've actually completed a few games recently. I've made like 3 or 4 of these quick reviews, and I've still not edited them and uploaded them yet. So I'm getting a bit behind, but without further ado guys, this is another quick review, and this is a quick review of Resident Evil Revelations on the PlayStation 3. See there. So yeah guys, you may or may not know, I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and was this a good game? I think it was guys, I really do think it was a good game. Feels more like a survival horror game, which is good in my opinion. I would like to see like games like this, go back to like classic survival horror kind of style. But for me with this game, it doesn't work as well as it could work, Because I mean, when you look at like Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil Code Veronica X, like the old, Silent Hill games, games like that, they've all got basically these fixed camera angles, where if there's an enemy in front of you, you might not actually see the enemy in front of you because of the camera, So that for me is, it can screw you over, but that for me is classic survival horror. It gives you a huge shock, when you initiate the next camera angle and there's just a bloody zombie right in front of you. That for me is classic survival horror. That's what horror games are missing, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, this game is good guys. I mean, at the beginning it's quite eerie, atmospheric, a couple of jump scares. But for me, as the game goes on, it starts to get less and less, scary. It's more action based. Oh, there's a monster. Oh, there's another monster. Oh, another monster. But at the beginning it was like, oh crap, there's a monster. As it like jumps out a box or climbs through a vent or something. It was a bit creepy at first, but I do feel it started to lose that creepiness as the game went on, But it's still a good game, guys. Don't get me wrong, And talking of fixed camera angles, this game doesn't have that. You're behind your character the whole time, so you can always see what's like miles in front of you. People actually criticise this game for, being a 3DS port, so it doesn't really look that good. For me guys, I really like the look of the game, the game looks fine, the game looks like a console game, so I don't know why people are saying it just looks like a 3DS game on a console. For me that's completely utter bullshit. I think the game looks quite good guys, I'm not gonna lie. I mean I'm not a graphics whore, so it suits me perfectly guys. The graphics, in this game, in my opinion, they work fine the way they are, Just some people are really fussy about graphics, So, but anyway guys, what can you do? There's some new characters in the game. There's Parker, who's usually with Jill throughout the game. There's Jessica, who's usually with Chris. And there was these 2 new guys who were actually quite funny. Quinn, and I think it was Keith. For me, they wouldn't actually use too much, Quinn and Keith. But their dialogue, I think their dialogue was bloody hilarious as hell. I think it was Quinn. His code name was Jackass, and he was a bit of a bloody idiot, but he was really bloody funny, It was a bit of a laugh. Both of those characters, really cool. Pity they weren't in the game, that often. I mean, that's the thing. The game jumps from character to character. One minute you're playing as Chris and Jessica, next minute you're playing as Jill and Parker. Next minute you're playing as, Quinn and Keith. But they didn't really use Quinn and Keith that much. All you really did with them was go over the a snowy type area and activate like a switch or something. So I'd like to have seen them use those characters more, because they're quite funny. And as for the other new characters, Jessica's okay, I'm not gonna lie. And there's Parker, he's actually really cool, a really cool character. But the thing with these characters, Resident Evil do this a lot, but they'll probably be like spin-off characters. You'll never see them again, probably not. That's, it's like what they do with other characters, Ashley, Graham, Sheva, Alomar, and even Carlos Oliveira from Resident Evil 3. Quite good characters in my opinion, but they never seem to, they've never brought them back. I don't know if it's because maybe Capcom don't like those characters too much, or people have been giving them negative feedback about those characters, but I'd like to see all 3 of those characters that I mentioned make an appearance again, Even if it is just a temporary, just a quick appearance. I would quite like to see that, because I think there's some pretty decent characters out there that have not returned in the Resident Evil series. So I think I'll start getting into some negatives, guys, because I've praised the game quite a bit, haven't I? Well, I haven't really, have I? It's quite difficult to explain, but I do love it. I really, really do like it. Yeah, some negatives, guys. First of all, the story. The story, in my opinion, was all over the place. You know, one minute you're playing as Jill and Parker, next minute, I don't know, like an hour ago, like it says an hour before or something, you see like Chris and Jessica or whatever, and then previously, or a day later or whatever, and then you play somebody else, and you know, for me, it just jumps all over the place. I don't like stories like that. You know, I mean, it's alright every now and again, you know, to basically show you what happened and that, you know, before the certain events and that. But I just think it jumped around too much. I couldn't really get into the story. And yeah, for me it was a bit all over the place. You know, I wasn't really a big fan of that. Again, it's a bit nitpicky, and I love the game just the way it is, you know. The story doesn't really matter, you know, too much of Resident Evil games. I'm still going to like them, whether the story's good or bad, you know. Another thing I didn't like was, you get this scanner thing. And what you can do with this scanner is you can scan enemies. And that'll like add to a percentage. And once you get 100%, you will get a green herb. So that's a full heal net in this game, by the way, guys. That's something I forgot to mention. They've done away with first aid sprays. It's only green herbs. But the green herb acts as a full healing item. So I was kind of weird. I was playing the game. I was like, where the hell is the red herbs and like the first aid sprays? You know, because you used to always combine a red herb and a green herb to get a full healing item. But yeah, it's just green herbs. It doesn't really matter too much, guys. You know, it is what it is. I soon got used to it. So that's not really too much of an issue. But yeah, but this scanner thing, guys, you scan enemies. And sometimes you can see ammo and stuff, like on desks and stuff. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to use a scanner to like scan like certain areas of the room. And you have to do that to basically find like hidden pieces of ammo or hidden herbs or, you know, things like that. And for me, it was an interesting idea. It was an interesting idea, but it got kind of boring a bit quickly. I didn't really like scanning things all the time. It was, like I say, an interesting idea, but it wasn't needed. Not really. You know, I mean, fair enough, scanning enemies, that's okay. That's okay. But scanning like areas for ammo and stuff, it wasn't really needed as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that's another negative. And there was a few underwater sections. Do they need underwater sections in Resident Evil, guys? I don't really think so. You know, I ended up drowning quite a few times in underwater sections, but yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of underwater sections. It's bloody Resident Evil, not Tomb Raider. You know, so I just don't think it was really necessary. I mean, fair enough, maybe one or two, but there was quite a lot of underwater sections, like 4 or 5 different underwater sections. In my opinion, again, not really needed. So I think that's really all the negatives, guys. You know, overall, like I say, it's been a positive experience. You know. Like I say, different characters, you play with different characters, again, that's quite good. You know, Jill and, it's mostly Jill and Parker though, which is, it's quite good. You know, I'm not gonna lie, guys, what stands out a mile away is Jill's ass. I'm not gonna lie, they put a lot of emphasis on that ass. You know, it's like in your face like the whole time, it's, you know, it stands out, you know. Not a problem with that, not a problem with that at all. So I think that's all I've got to say about the campaign, guys. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the raid mode. This raid mode, oh my god, this raid mode is a lot of fun, guys. I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of fun. So basically when you're playing through the single player campaign, you have to play through the single player campaign to unlock the stages for the raid mode. Because if you play like the raid mode before you play the single player campaign, you'll see like, you know, areas and enemies and that you're going to see in the campaign, so it'll be a bit of a spoiler. Unless you don't plan on playing through the campaign, but you've got to unlock the stages for raid mode. And basically, what you get at the end of each episode, you know, you get a grade, and you get like these BP points. I was wondering what the hell are these BP points. So I looked up on the internet and I found out it's basically transferred to raid mode. So what you do with this raid mode, you go through each stage. You have to get from point A to point B, killing enemies along the way to collect keys and ammo and stuff. And basically you just got to survive that area. And at the end of the area, once you complete the area, you'll get a grade and more BP points. So what you do with these BP points, you could buy guns, you know. So this is a really, really cool idea. You know, you can buy like better handguns, you know. I mean, they might look the same, but their stats and that are different, you know. But you've got quite a few different types of handguns and different types of shotguns. But you want to basically look at the stats, see what's got the like most attack power and things. And for me, it's a really cool idea, you know. Each like stage has got like a recommended level, because you level up. So it's kind of like, I don't know, RPG kind of thing, I guess, with a leveling up system. You have to do a bit of grinding to basically get to other stages. Or you could jump into the stages if you're like, I don't know, if the stage level's like recommended level 8 and you're level 6, you'll probably get your ass kicked, like. But you know, you can give it a shot if you want. But like I say, it'll be really difficult. You can also spend your BP points on upgrades. So if you want to increase your fire rate or your gun's damage, you can do that. You know, it's a really cool idea, guys. And for me, it's probably better than the campaign, actually. You know, don't get me wrong, guys. The campaign's really good as well. But I love this raid mode. This raid mode is a hell of a lot of fun, you know. And you can play it online as well, raid mode. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. I've not tried it online. I've just been playing for it, playing it myself. But yeah, raid mode's a hell of a lot of fun, guys. And yeah, I absolutely love it. And I'd like to see it return in, I don't know, Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil Revelations 2. God knows what's going to come out next as far as Resident Evil is concerned. But for me, guys, I would highly recommend it. If you're a Resident Evil fan, you'll probably like it. Or if you're a fan of like survival horror kind of games, you'll probably like it. I completed the game in a normal mode in about 6.5 hours. So it's not really a long game. I mean, you can buy this for like £10. It's one of those games that seem to stay around that £10 kind of mark, you know. You don't really see it cheaper very often. I don't know whether it's because maybe not that many copies of the game sold or something, I don't know. But yeah, I would still recommend it for that £10, guys. I looked online, people said first playthrough is about 10, 11 hours. I'm like, what? 10, 11 hours? I completed it in 6.5, you know, so, I don't know if I breezed through it or what, I don't know. But yeah, guys, Resident Evil Revelations, highly recommended. A really enjoyable experience. So anyways, hope you've enjoyed this little video, guys. If you've played the game, let me know what you think. Let me know what your favourite Resident Evil game is. Just anything like that. I should really say how high I'd put it. I'm not going to say it's better than Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, or definitely not Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3. It could be slightly better than Resident Evil Code Veronica X. It's definitely better than Resident Evil Dead Aim. Probably better than Operation Raccoon City. And I would say it's better than Outbreak games. But yeah, so I like all Resident Evil games really, apart from maybe Dead Aim, because that's kind of crap. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See you guys, thanks for watching.